All right, here we are in Jackson, Louisiana. This is the entry to the East Louisiana State Mental Hospital. Of course, you can see this is the sign, and they call themselves a mental health system, and it's a campus. And I'm going to have to do this video from the highway because it's a gated facility and you can't get in. Now, for those of you that might wonder what this place looks like, it's interesting when you look at it from the road here. It's just these strange little white houses all along behind this fence. Way back at the end of the lane behind these houses is a very large, looks like an institution or like something you would see in the 40s or 50s. It was white, and then it got real run down, and last time I saw it, it was in pretty bad shape. Looks like they may have, I can't see it from the road, but this is, obviously they've taken pains to privatize this or to keep it as secret as possible because it is set way back off the road. You can't see it from the road. I'm not sure how I would get back there to even see it. These houses, I don't know if you can see these houses. I think these are probably houses for the people, I don't know if you call them inmates or what, or patients or what, who might not be as, their behavior is not as risky, or maybe they're more functioning in society or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's the doctors. I don't know who lived in these houses or who lives in them now. But they form a periphery around this huge institutional like building that's set way back, and that's how Oswald, Ferry, Shaw, Dr. Ochsner in charge of this project. That's why they chose this location to do these human tests, because you've got this buffer. You've got all these houses. First of all, you're in the middle of nowhere. You're on a state highway in Jackson, Louisiana. It's a small little quaint town, kind of like Clinton. It's in the middle of nowhere. That's first of all. Then it's a gated facility. You can't get in. And then you've got these, from the road, these innocuous looking houses forming a buffer or a perimeter. There's trees everywhere. And somewhere way back behind is this big institutional-like building. They didn't even enter the institutional-like building. They went to an outbuilding. According to Judith Very, when they drove up, there was this big hospital-looking building, and then they drove around back to what looked like these little outbuildings. And the outbuildings were even then were in a state of disrepair. And that's where they conducted the human tests. And so I just wanted to kind of see for myself what this place looked like, kind of give you a glimpse. And what I thought was interesting, as we drove past here, we made a pass by here the first time looking for the big building. We couldn't find it, and we realized it's hidden back there. But what's really interesting is this entire campus is surrounded by graveyards. If I turn my camera here, you can see right, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me see if my wife knows how to blow all this stuff up. I turned it around. Okay, if I blow it up, you can see that is a huge graveyard. And that graveyard wraps all the way around. You can see where all those white posts are. That's all part of the same campus. And that borders this entire facility. And I've just walked past probably 200 or 300 yards worth back to where I came from, which is at the top of that hill there. And on the other side of that hill, over on the other side behind me where I started filming, there's another graveyard, and it's got white fencing around it. It's just a very eerie place, even if you know nothing about this place. So I just wanted to show this to you. This is how they conducted this test. You know, when we started talking about the testing in New Orleans, they found walled off infectious disease labs on the edge of town that were similar in the sense that they were in a rundown condition weeds, overgrown, broken out windows, buildings that were on the verge of being condemned. And that's where they conducted the linear particle accelerator part of the tests. They weaponized the cancer. They weaponized the cancer virus there. And then to conduct the last rung of the testing ladder on humans, which of course is scandalous in and of itself here, you'd think, in America, they found another out-of-the-way location, and they found prisoners that were on death row at Angola prison. And I don't know how they conned them into volunteering for the test, but according to Judith Very, when she came to test the blood 3 days later, or 2 days, I think it was 3 days later, the cancer was already in an advanced state in all three of them. And she said the program was successful. And so they had their successful bioweapon, and they knew that on September 2nd. And that signifies the end of the Medical Manhattan Project. They got what they wanted. But the thing I really wanted to see for myself was where they did these things. And both places, the Infectious Disease Lab and this East Louisiana State Mental Hospital, are in out-of-the-way locations and in places that scream, stay away. Don't come here. And they're private, and you can get away with a lot of hanky-panky in places like this. So that's why they stopped in Clinton those 2 times on their way here to create alibis. And if anybody asked what they were doing in this part of the state, they could say we were registering to vote, or I was looking for a job, and those alibis would cover up the real reason they were here. And the real reason they were here was to finish the bioweapon project. So we have now seen 2 more sites that I will file under my New Orleans walking tour site, or series, that are related to Lee Harvey Oswald, his activities in the summer and fall of '63, right before he goes to Mexico City, allegedly to plan an assassination, but really to make a bioweapon drop, and then right before he gets reassigned to Dallas. Thank you.